Good morning and welcome to Limitless, the show that brings you love and inspiration on a Saturday morning. Today we'll be talking to Belgium-based music artist UNIEKGRACE, who released a new Afrobeat celebration dance track earlier on this year. She spent most of her developing years in Italy, Switzerland, USA, Nigeria, and Belgium, where she encountered many different cultures that enabled her to define a very unique sound. And she's an award-winning top Niger music artist. And of course, by the Top Niger Music Awards, she has been titled, or at least what's the right word? She's been marked as one to watch on the Nigerian music scene, and that was a few years ago. So UNIEKGRACE has since then been recognized by other award platforms in Nigeria, Belgium, United Kingdom's True Life Awards, and the African Gospel Music Media Awards, to name just a few. So, without much more ado, let us introduce UNIEKGRACE on to the show. Welcome.
Hello, Reverend Maria Bond. How are you?
I'm very well today. Yes, it's nice. The sun is shining and I'm very happy. How are you?
I'm doing good. Belgium has good weather today also, so I am good.
Awesome. Okay, so I have said so much about you, and I've listened to your new track called So Good, which we're all going to be listening to later on. What I want to know from you, first and foremost, because you've got quite a unique sound, haven't you? It seems to be an amalgamation of dance music, a bit of Afrobeat, a little bit of soul. So tell us, and a bit of
Yes.
rapping as well. You're rapping on there as well, aren't you? Tell us, where did your love for music begin?
Well, I've always been in music, because growing up with my parents, especially my grandfather, who
Yeah,
loves to bring us all together,
yeah.
6 a.m. in the morning, we are clapping, we are singing, praise and worship, we are in the word. I mean, just imagine though, being so young and the bell is ringing and we all have to sing. And I'm saying you need to bring your singing game. We're
Yeah.
hearing the altos and the sopranos and all of that. So it's always been in me.
Mm,
However, in growing, I've always been the kind of girl who likes to write down, my emotions, my feelings, reflection, things like that. So I've always been writing, but the music really started just about 5, 6 years ago when I did hear God say that this is a ministry. Because I've always been in the choir, doing my part in church and stuff like that. But about 6 years ago, I almost lost my life, where I almost got crushed over by a truck. By the time I got home, I felt like a new me was there. I felt like, like, is this me pinching myself and whatnot? And that's when I heard God saying, look, girl, you've been chilling for too long. It is time to get out there. So yeah, I bless him. But all the different sounds, though, I believe is just because of all the moving around that I've done in the world. And that's due to my father's job. He's an ambassador of Nigeria. And so we did a lot of traveling. So of course the music, the culture, becomes part of me also, of all those different
mm,
places.
mm.
Um, yeah, and here we are, and I'm out there doing my thing and, blessing the world with it. I really thank God for the opportunity. I really do.
Amazing, because of course, when you're talking, I'm hearing numerous different accents that are just coming out, and that's so typical of ambassador
I know.
children. The ambassador
I
children that
know.
I've met, they have weird accents, beautiful
It's
accents.
yeah, I get teased a lot. Nigerians are like, wait, Nigeria. I'm like, I am. But where's the accent from? I don't know. It's a melting point of all kinds of countries.
It's beautiful though. It's nice. It's a
Oh,
it's a
thank
it's
you.
a reflection of unity and in the midst of diversity, all unified within you.
Thank you. Oh God, thank
And
you.
of course, now
Thank
you
you.
are a diary. You've mentioned the fact that you do write a lot. You're in your reflective time, writing and diary
Mhm.
keeping. I've always thought that was an amazing thing. Just people
It
who can keep.
is.
Mm.
Yeah. Because when
Yeah,
you
you
go
get a
back
lot.
to that, it's amazing what you've been through, you
Yeah,
know, and
yeah,
how God has taken you out of so many things. I
yes.
still keep my diary. I'm still into my writings and things like that. And it's an escape route
Yeah,
also sometimes.
yeah, because
Yeah.
sometimes you find that, those times, those dry times, when I say dry, I mean where you just, you don't feel the quiet times where you are not
Mm,
hearing necessarily anything,
mm.
you're not having any direction, and you just need something to give you a sense of hallelujah. You want something to praise
Indeed.
God. You want to remember all the things He's done. You just go back into your,
Yes.
I reflect those pages, and it's just absolutely beautiful and really
Indeed.
inspirational for your music, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. I mean, even the very first song that I wrote, because I never thought I was a singer. Even though I
Mm,
sang in choirs, but I've always been the backup girl, just playing my part, like I was saying. But so I never really took that front leading thing, even when I'm offered, I'm like, oh no, I'm good. But I've always been writing. My very first song, which is I'm a Survivor, it was something that I actually wrote in my diary a long time ago. Being a survivor of rape, I was a rape victim, but now,
wow.
of course, I'm a survivor.
Mhm.
So just going through that and reading what I wrote and understanding that God has been empowering me brought
Mm,
me to a place where I could sing about it and then be an empowerment to other people,
mm.
you know? And all that came through because, I was writing things down and yeah, it's amazing. It's a great therapy in other words.
My goodness. It's amazing the amount of women that have been on this show that have gone through rape and abuse. It's
Oh yeah.
astounding the numbers of
Oh yeah.
great women, because of course, Limitless, it's
Mm,
celebrities that we're usually speaking to, and they've been through so much. And,
mm,
women carry so much as far as,
mm,
being, uh, womb carriers and bringing out so much of what the goodness of God through them,
oh
I
yeah.
wonder if that's reflective of what's going on in society, where the
Mm-hmm,
society that we're living in, there is this
mm-hmm,
raping,
mm-hmm,
depleting, breaking down of
mm-hmm,
our sense of self-esteem and our
mm-hmm.
sense
Oh
of,
yeah.
because sometimes the question is that reflective of the society? If the women are all going through this, is that
You
society
know,
as a whole?
it
What's
is.
going on?
It is. There has been a void in the society when we're talking about
Yeah.
rape or
Yeah.
domestic violence. It's always been a taboo to talk about it, to be honest. And what is rape really? What happens there? It's really a perpetrator trying
Mm,
to exercise its power or her power on
mhm,
another individual that he or she thinks is defenseless, or he or she thinks that is powerless.
mhm,
And that's really what happens because and growing up, because I was 15 and a half at that point, and I've heard about stories of even 6 year olds,
mm,
7 year olds being raped. I mean, what kind of spirit would get into somebody and say exercise your power on this? You want to be macho, well, you go show how macho you are to this
yes,
individual. And
yes,
of course
yes.
it breaks down so many walls. Like, for example, I tried suicide a couple of times. I tried taking pills, and
Mm,
I was hoping I would not wake up.
mm,
And other people, they end up cutting themselves, and
mm,
just trying to see, because what happens is you just break down. I put myself in a dark box for almost 10 years because
mm,
I did not know what to do with my emotions. People that
mm.
I talk to tell me it's your fault. What were you doing that day? What kind of dress did you wear that day? And I'm like, so, 10 years of trying to process this. While
Mm,
I know that other great things could have happened during the 10 years, but I was busy trying to figure out what the heck happened to me.
yes,
And I understand that, yes, indeed, a lot of this happened to great women or great men, because it happens to men also. Men get raped too.
yes.
Um, so, but at the end of the day, when you realize that God has empowered you, when you realize the gift that God has given you, that you are not meant to stay ashamed or stay in a box, or the power that comes out of it is amazing. I mean, I feel God in my life all
Mm,
the time, and I
mm,
thank Him. That happened to me, but He brought me out of it and He
mm.
empowered me.
Oh,
So,
praise God, yes. Praise God. As I
yeah.
said, there's just so many. There are many, many that I have personally spoken to
Mm.
on and off the show that have gone through this in many ways. The violation, the abuse of trust, the abuse of trust,
Yes.
and because it's a spirit, I know
It
it's
is.
manifested itself through rape and
I'm
it's
glad you
manifested
said
itself
that.
through abuse. It's still a spirit, and it's a territorial spirit, which means others are also being affected, but maybe in different other ways. But at the end of the day, it's
Yes.
still a violation of their trust, an abuse
Yes,
of their
indeed.
trust. And when we
That's
look
what
at
it is.
society nowadays, you find that we're trusting the government, we're trusting the people that are in charge of us.
Mm-hmm.
The question is that same spirit manifesting in society generally, where the trust of the people are being abused and violated, and
Wow.
we're ripped of our sense of self-esteem? Look at COVID.
Wow. Yes,
Look at
indeed.
lockdown. Look at all the mess that's.
Powerless moments. Mm, mm,
I think
mm.
it's probably something to pray about anyway. But anyway,
Yes,
going back,
indeed.
yeah,
God help us.
for you. Now that you've said that and it's now open and out in the open, what I need to know from you is, how did you break free from a spiritual perspective? I think this might
Yeah.
really help a lot of people out there. What did
Oh,
you
yes.
do? Obviously, the process, 10 years, the process
Mhm.
you had to walk the walk, and you had to
Yes,
break the
indeed.
limitation of your mind. So how did you do it?
Yes, indeed. Well, I have always been an extrovert. But when this happened to me, I forced myself to become an introvert.
Mm,
Why? Because every time I try to talk about it, I get shut down. But I thank God, because I was not the kind of person who would just keep quiet about something that's burning me. And the more I try to talk about it, and people would say, well, it's your fault, this and that. I went through the whole process of self blame and the anger and the why me, that kind of thing. But I kept asking God, what's going on? Because I remember that very day that it happened. I was under the shower for about 3-4 hours. I was trying to wash off something and I did not know what it was. And just like you say, it's spiritual, it's not physical, it's spiritual, and it gets into the mind. Um, the day that my breakthrough came, a pastor in the church actually called my situation out, because I had stopped trusting people. And above all, I stopped trusting my parents because I was a teenager. Then they sent me to America to go and continue, my education. I didn't know anybody there. I was so far away from family. So when this happened, because I was drugged and raped. So when it happened, I just lost trust in everybody. I was just like, yeah, well, I'm on my own now. I have to sort myself out. But eventually, taking apart that I couldn't talk to my parents because I was just like, well, you guys you're not helping me, so what the heck? I also lost my faith in God. Because
Oh,
remember,
wow.
I grew up in a Christian home. I grew up loving God, and I remember being on the streets of Switzerland, telling people, knocking on their doors and say, Jesus is Lord, come to my church. I was so on fire for God. People will be
Mm,
asking, like, isn't that the ambassador's daughter? What is she doing on the streets talking about Jesus is Lord? Well, I need to go to that church. That kind of, that kind
mm,
of influence, and me using it so well, and then losing my faith in God. I
mm.
was like, God, I can't do this with you because I thought you had my back, but you
Yeah.
didn't, you know?
Wow.
So I said it out loud to a friend of mine. I was like, I don't trust God no more. Something happened to me. And I still couldn't talk to people, so openly about it. Something happened to me and God disappointed me. Sis, I had the hottest slap on my face from my friend because I said I did not trust God anymore. I just
Mm,
heard, bah, right on my cheek. How dare you say you don't trust God? How dare you? He is God. He's the Alpha. She rained all of God's name into my head. I cannot, that's my Ethiopian sister. I can't forget her. She
mm,
rained all this in my head. It came back to me. And I'm like, if anybody can help me out of this, it's God. If anybody can tell me how I'm feeling and how I can break out of this, it's
mm,
God.
mm,
So I was gaining my trust back little by little until the day when the pastor called out my situation and said, there is somebody in here. You've been in darkness for some years. If you don't decide to forgive the perpetrator, you'll be stuck in this darkness for life.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, he actually said rape. You were raped, you were sexually abused, and you were here. You need to forgive. Now, how would I forgive somebody who did that to me? I was like, what? Why would I have to forgive him? I mean, come on. But it didn't take me a day. It didn't take me a week. It did not take me a month. It took me a long time before I could actually forgive.
Yes.
And when I forgave, sis, I had such a burden drop. I just felt this weight drop. I just felt so much lighter, like, you know, like I'm being carried, of course, on the wings of God. And my trust, I started building it back again with God, first of all.
Yes.
And then that was running up to the 10 years when I was able to talk to my parents about it. And I was like, look, guys, y'all acting like everything is okay. Everything is not okay. I'm a big mess. I am broken. I am shattered. This is what happened to me. And my mother cried. Oh my God, she cried. My father cried. We all just, you know, had that moment together. And so that is support. Support from family who can help you validate what happened. That look, okay, it happened. We're so sorry. How are you? You know, so it went from forgiving the person, getting it together, complete again with God, being able to talk to my family who validated it with me. And then my journey began. And I felt so empowered, like I was on top of the world. Oh my God, it was so liberating.
Yes.
And for a lot of people, it's different. The process is different. Some people take 20 years before they could accept themselves again. I never thought I was beautiful because of that. I always thought I was too skinny. At a point, I thought I was too fat. I don't know how, because I never grow more than this. But I thought, wait, was I too fat? Was I ugly? Is that why this person chose me? Because I am some kind of target, you know? So for a lot of people, it's different. The process is different. But I know that the biggest thing that you could do for yourself as a victim of such an abuse is to forgive. Just let go. Let go. You know, it's easier said than done, but let go and see how God's power would take over, how the Spirit of God would take over and lead you to your greatness, you know, because we got so much in us as children of God. And the moment that we own up to it, the Holy Spirit takes over. And, you know, I bless him for my story.
Yeah, it's generation and culture. There's a culture that then comes out of the faith, and people see with their human eyes, and they see how things should look, and so everybody's trying to emulate the perfection of what they see. They forget that perfection is from the Lord, and so in order to have perfection, there needs to be chaos at some point, so that He can put it back together again and take you to a higher level. So in the end, that circumstances becomes a stepping stone. You know, you look at even Job. Job went through so much, and in the end, he restored him. And he said in Job 2 verse 29, he says, you know, when men say there is a casting down, you exalt the Lord. He says there's a lifting up. So even in a situation that seems so sort of dire, God is taking you to another level, and you've got a new level of now, having come through that. Imagine if you just carried on a perfect life and you never had anything no challenges. Then where is God in that? What you write in your diary, for goodness sake?
Right? Today was excellent. Check.
Yeah. Born in a perfect family, lived a perfect life, no challenges. Check. Eventually pride comes in and we become self-righteous.
Those says pride would come in because you feel like, you know, I got it all. Self-righteousness. I can do whatever I want to do. I can say whatever I want to say. You forget authority and whatnot.
Exactly.
Oh, Lord,
and the worst thing for that is this: when somebody comes to you, because we're supposed to help others as well, aren't we? That's the relationship we have. You know, we support each other. Somebody comes to you having gone through difficult times. The pride prevents you from helping them because you don't understand.
Exactly.
You have no idea what they're going through. And the first thing you say is, "What were you wearing? What were you saying?
Right?
How were you behaving?
What color was your lipstick? Did you attract this? I'm like,
because then and that's just because they don't understand.
or they don't even try to understand.
Yes.
Somebody asked me, "Did you like it?" Did I like somebody?
There's the ignorance again.
Did I like being drugged?
That's why Paul said, "Thank God I was afflicted." Your
Oh,
affliction made
Jesus,
you wiser
exactly.
and made you give God the glory and understand of this.
Exactly.
Look at people with
Exactly.
empathy and understanding that there is an
Exactly.
adversary. There is an
Exactly.
adversary, and we're
Yes,
not backing
indeed.
flesh and blood here.
Indeed.
And
I mean,
I think,
Jesus went through it. God
yeah,
came down in flesh so he can understand what
yes,
we're going through, so he
yes,
can relate. So,
yeah,
yes, it's part of life, isn't it? It's part
yes,
of life. Even
yes.
those who are put in the front of perfection, there's
Mm,
something they're hiding, sis. They're
that's
hiding
right.
something. If
This
they
is
if they
the missing
actually
step.
own up to it, right? Exactly. We're here on earth to help each other. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. But how could you love others if you don't try to have empathy or even understand what they could be going through?
Mm,
How can that happen? I
mm,
mean, put yourself aside. Look at
mm,
what's going on out there.
yeah,
May God
yeah.
help us, honestly. May God
That's
help
right.
us.
That's right. And be kind to yourself, people. Stop hiding.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't put yourself through
Yes.
so much. His burden is easy and his yoke is light.
Yes,
There are
indeed.
persons
Yes.
out there that you can actually trust and speak to. Okay, so your life is
Amen.
so good now and it's going from glory to glory. So tell us, you've got this singer
Amen.
called So Good. You've got this singer
I heard that. I was like, no pun intended. Your life is so good now. The song is so good.
because at the end of the day, afflictions come and go, but once you've got Jesus, you've got God in your life. It is so good. You
It
literally
is.
are walking by his grace, so it is
Amen.
definitely so good. And I think a song like this, the song you released in February this year, is so
Mhm.
poignant and so needed, where people can realize,
It
actually,
is.
irrespective of what I'm going through, afflicted on all sides, maybe, or going through hard times, economic issues, it is actually so good, because the essence of
Yeah.
life is perfection, and God is
Yes.
giving us a life of godliness. So therefore,
Yes.
it is so good. And so it's brilliant. I
Indeed.
like it. I also liked about it was the fact that your family were involved. I know your husband
Yeah.
did the video.
Yes.
So I think we should watch the behind the scenes just to get people ready
Okay.
for the song, and then we'll watch the song after that. So let's watch
Okay.
the making of the video. So good.
All right.
Yeah, why?
Who's the African queen?
Wow. Okay, that's all. That's all.
My name is Unique Grace. I'm a singer-songwriter in the genre of Afrobeat gospel, and I'm based in Belgium. Well, So Good is the So Good song that helps me to understand. It helps me to understand how good God has been in my life and the life of my family. It was written during the time of Corona that we're still battling with. We're coming out of slowly by the grace of God. But I personally, within the past 2 years, I was struck down with the Corona 3 times. Like, I even had the Omicron. And I know it was by the grace of God that I kept bouncing back, because even the third doctor that saw me was like, "You're a very strong woman. I don't know how you do it." And I know how I did it is because God has been so good. He is so good, and his mercy really endures forever.
Hello, everybody. So we're gonna just talk about the song "So Good." Wonderful song, and I'm so glad to see the impact the song is making. Just briefly, just want to touch light on, how the song came about. A friend of mine, a wonderful gospel artist by the name UNIEKGRACE. She called me up sometime, I think during the start of Corona, or the start or later part of Corona. I'm not very sure anymore. And she called me and she told me, "I have a song." So, before Corona, usually she would just travel down to my studio here in Holland. But because of Corona, and she's a mom, she's a nurse and a wife, of course, she was not able to come. Actually, because of Corona.
My name is Alexander Mesri. I'm actually the producer and director for this video. Well, what I understood from the song was that it was a person celebrating the good things and celebrating life and thanking God because He's so good in everything that they're doing. So like basically everything that their hand touches turns to gold kind of thing. And so what I wanted to portray in the video, knowing the artist very well, UNIEKGRACE, which happens to be my wife, I wanted to show the kind of effort that she puts into the things she does. She's involved in fashion, she's involved in music, she's involved in her job, daily job, nursing, and she's a full-time mother. So I wanted to try and come with a concept to demonstrate all the things that she's able to do and the joy that she takes in doing it.
How we're gonna go about it? She was like, yeah, I have this amazing tune in my head. I think at that point she didn't even have the complete lyrics yet, but she already got the song, the vibe of the song, you know. And then she called me up. She was like, so how are we gonna do this? So, but I really need to record this song because it's really resonates what is going on right now and what I'm going through myself, and it's a wonderful testimony of how God kept me, you know, after she had that corona sickness, you know, and of course God preserved her life. I'm sure those of you that follow her and you've seen or you saw that story on social media. So when she told me, I was like, okay, what are we gonna do? You know, I mean, thank God for technology. So I told her, you know what, we're going to be doing Zoom sessions. So that means that because of the fact that you can't travel down and all the restrictions and lockdown, so we're going to be having sections through Zoom. So we tried it out. So I had to hook up all my system to make sure that, you know, she hears whatever was going on in the studio, like directly in her ear. So I had to set it up. You know, people who are into technical and stuff like that will understand. So I had to make sure that she literally hear all my tracks, you know, and the process on how I produce songs.
Well, you can imagine when I was struck with corona, like a lot of people, you have no energy whatsoever. Things that you normally do, you can't do. There were even times when I could not breathe and, you know, just really, really low energy. So it kind of just made sense that I wanted to do a song that was full of energy. I think this is one of the most energy-packed songs that I've done so far. And of course, together with my producer, LCBN, that is based in Holland, he was excited about this particular song also because it's dance, it's energy full. Is like the highest tempo that I've, you know, done, and it's also different, the process whereby this was done, because literally we had to do Zoom because of the lockdown and because of the travel restrictions. So we did a lot of Zoom time, myself and my producer, before I actually went to the studio to record, and we literally had to wait until travel restrictions were down and then Zoom.
My interest was, I really wanted I had a vision for this song. Every time I hear a song by UNIEKGRACE or any other artist, I always have these ideas in my mind of what I would like to see. And so in the projects in the past, I've never really assumed the role of a director because I was just learning the process, following people who had more experience than I did. And here I wanted to take a page from Quentin Tarantino's book. I wanted to put something on the screen that I wanted to watch.
Well, you know, and then when we first made that, when I first made the beat, it was kind of mellow, kind of easy, not too fast, kind of mid-tempo. And then one day after all the restrictions were out, but not really all, but some of the restrictions, so people were allowed to travel. So she was able to come over to the studio, you know, with 2 meters distance, of course, Corona. And then what happened actually was that when we were at the studio, so I think that we're just listening over and over again. And I thought about, you know, this is a song of testimony and of the goodness of God. And it's a song of joy. Actually, I know it comes from a place of, you know, how good God is. So I thought, you know, how beautiful will it be for people to testify and dance to a song and rejoice to the song. So I just said, UNIEKGRACE, I want to try something out. So it's like, what? I said, I think this song needs to be faster.
Yes, it's been a while that we actually did a proper AFT in-house music video. And AFT, of course, is our in-house record label. So this particular video was produced and directed by my very own husband, Mr. Kesiana Alexander Emesiri. I did not have anything to do at all with like the planning, with the storyline, with the. I mean, I was just shut out of everything. And for the first time, I was like, okay, cool. Which hair do I do? Okay. What do I wear? Okay. What you say? Okay, I'll do it. So it's one of those music videos that I literally did not have any say in it. I just trusted my husband 100%, and the outcome of it is amazing, speechless. Love it.
So my feedback after the song has been released is I'm so glad to see that a lot of people have embraced the song, and I see it online. It's really it's a hit. It's a hit. People love it, and I think that it's the message of the song also, testifying about the goodness of God. And number two, the beat. Of course, I gotta give some credit to myself, but I'm just kidding. But I mean, I think it's beautiful to see how people can be receptive about something that you spend time creating, because we put all our hearts into what we do. So we do it for the people. So if people are happy, we're happy.
The video is coming out on the 23rd of April, 2022. I'm very excited. I'll be really excited to see and get an understanding of how you feel when you watch the video. If it was as enjoyable as it was to make it, and if you feel the authenticity of the feelings behind it. I would really, really like to get your feedback on that.
Hello and welcome back to Limitless, the show that brings you love and inspiration on this Saturday morning. And of course, we have UNIEKGRACE on the show today talking about her new single, and we just watched a premiere sort of video about the making of the video, which has been amazing, and it's been great talking to you. You know what?
Thank you.
It's amazing how you're your wife, your mother, you're a designer, you're all these different things, a registered nurse. And you have the time to do like music as well and ministry. How amazing.
Thank you. It's a lot of work, but God's mercy is new every morning, and I am bathing in that mercy. Like,
Yes.
Seriously. But I thank him. I thank God for the opportunity. Seriously. I don't take it lightly at all.
And of course, the video has been released today.
Yes. So it's being released today, of course, on LCBN. However, the official date for everybody that's going to be on Vivo is the 11th of May. So actually next month. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for the privilege to be able to play that video first on the show. This is exclusive stuff, guys. Come on.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that. Now, of course, the other thing that I really enjoyed by watching that, just to know that it is your family's involved. We got to see some of your family there as well, some of the things that you do, seeing your husband and seeing you guys just working together. How beautiful. What really intrigued me was when you mentioned about AFT record company. And, now, is that something that you started based on what you're doing now, or do you work with other artists as well?
Well, that is something that we started, myself and my husband, based on me deciding that, okay, this is ministry, but we gotta do it well.
Yes.
We serve a God of excellence, so we cannot dish out mediocrity to anybody. Yes. So we are a record label in Belgium, registered. However, we do help also other artists, because there are people who reach out to us now and then, help me to put my song on Spotify, or for advice or for consultation. We take time out to do that. So it's in-house, but of course it's for whoever comes for help.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And the fact that you're making yourself into it's like a city on a hill that shines bright for others as well, and being a
Amen.
champion for
Amen.
others. So as you acquire the knowledge about the industry, you're able to help other people as well. Absolutely
Indeed.
what this is all about. I love it, you know. And of course, you know, you spoke about the fact that the music was actually released in February, but you've kind of
Yeah.
kept people waiting till this very day, and of course the you know May as well. Now, now tell me, with this actual video, who came up with the concept? I just love it. It's just so natural, and it seems as though obviously it's good quality, but it just looks like you just guys are just enjoying and having a good time. Whose idea
Yeah.
was it? Yours, or was it your husband's? And how did it all
Well,
come together?
for the first time, I actually had nothing to do with the music video. Even the settings, the write up, the script. My husband was like, "Okay, babe, I got you. Just trust me, okay?" I'm always like, "Oh God, please don't let him mess me up." But I trusted him because we've been on this journey since the beginning. We're working with Lazone Media, who was our main cinematographer for Survivor, for another song, Follow Follow. We've been working together. And every time he comes up with an idea, let's try this, let's try that. And we decided to get all our cameras, order everything that we need, the lightings and stuff. So he was like, "Why not? I can do it. I got you." And I'm like, okay. But he did so well. And we had a lot of time, enough time to get it done. We had I think 4 different scenario days, actually. I had to change my hair 4 times. It was
Ouch.
his vision. I know, right? His vision, we went for it. And the song has been doing so well. It's like the first week that it was released, it was it appeared on the BDS chart, the American BDS charts, on number 220, right? And then 5 weeks later, we're number 25. I think 24, as far as I know, a couple of days ago. 24 on the American BDS chart. So I know there's something great about this song. So even when my husband said, "Give me a shot, let me do it," I'm like, "Look, I know God will guide you, so go with God, my brother." And he did. And my kids are also in the video, by the way. They're also in it. It was a celebration of life, especially during the Corona time. We had no time to hang out with friends and family. So this is it. Celebration of life, celebration of God, and each other.
That's
So I'm
right.
glad you love it.
Yes, I do. And we're going to watch it in a minute. I'm going to ask if you can introduce that. Obviously, as we talked about, family is very much involved. Everybody likes a happy story. That's why we love to see family, and we love to see people who are sharing love on the screen. We love to see people who are happy, and that's what we love to see. And that's what you see in this video, a real celebration of God and God in you, the hope of glory. It's amazing. So I would leave it to you now to introduce your video, and then we'll go straight to watching it. Go for it, sis.
Thank you. So guys, get ready to see the official video for So Good, your favorite joyful song. So this video was directed and produced by Alexander Emesiri, and it is through AFT Media right here in Belgium. So enjoy this video. The word of God says in Psalm 34, it says that taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in him. God is the one who comes and reaches out for you, in times of trouble. Even in the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 7, that says that the Lord is good. He's a stronghold in times of trouble. And God knows those who take refuge in him. So in this video, just understand how good God is through the way that we celebrate each other, we celebrate God. And above all, remember to take refuge in him. He is your help. There's nowhere else to go in this world that is upside down. He is your help. So guys, enjoy it. And I hope to hear from all of y'all afterwards.
Enjoy.
Out of many billions, nobody comes close to you. Nobody can do me. Pick me up from feeling. I'm glad I'm getting. My energy is your word. Ooh, my life is better with your love. Ooh, my head is scatter for your love. Hey, so good, so kind, really, really good, really, really good. So good, so kind. All of the goodness and mercy you're giving to me. So good, so kind. You are good, you are so glad that you're mine. Oh my God. Right. God of the universe, the world is in your hands. You be my body, hey, you be my body, hey. My shame, my flaws are gone. I'm brand new in your hands. You saved me over and over again. Ooh, my life is better with your love. Ooh, my head is scatter for your love, Hey, so good, so kind. You are good, you are kind. So kind, all my days you're my way. So kind, all of the blessings, give them a plenty. So glad that you're mine. God of the universe, you're mine. I'm in love, So kind, so good, so kind. You are mine, you are so glad that you're mine. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, forever you and I. Oh my God, your blessing is a lot. Every blessing you giving it plenty. So good, so kind. You are good, you are kind. So kind, all my days you're my way. So kind, all of the blessings, give them a plenty. So glad that you're mine. God of the universe, you're mine. I'm in love, so kind, so good, so kind. All of the blessings, give them a plenty. So glad that you're mine. Oh my God.
Woo, 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 woo. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So it's
I'm
released.
here all dancing and it's released.
Guys, and people out there, remember, this is an exclusive. So this is the official release now, although it's going to be out again in May. And she will be telling you a little bit more about that. So can you tell us, where can people get hold of the song and, of course, this video as well when it does get released? Tell us, please.
Yes, definitely. So Good, produced by Mr. Elvis E, is available online on all your favorite platforms, by the way. But if you go to my website, which is www.uniekgracemusic.com, you can download it from there. But if you type it on Google, Unique Grace, So Good, then you can get your own favorite platform. So the music video is going to be on my Vivo channel, and it's Unique Grace Vivo. And but it's, we're talking about it all the time on all the social media platforms, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and everything is the same name, Unique Grace. So that's UNIEK. It's not the normal unique. Of course, we have to twist it around. UNIEKGRACE.
UNIEK. Now tell us, why is it that you chose it to twist the word around, the unique? Why? Tell
I
us.
knew you were gonna ask that question. Well, listen, it's not actually it's something that came around when I finished nursing school here in Belgium, because I did the whole bachelor's degree in Dutch, not in English, but in Dutch. So I came fresh from America, all what's up y'all, and I cannot do that no more in Belgium because it is French and Dutch. So I just saw the way that God carried me through. I did not repeat a class. I did not redo an exam. And when I kept hearing people complaining, like, oh, that was really difficult. How'd you do that? Me being, an immigrant, of course, in Belgium at that point, I was not a resident of this place, but doing my stuff. They were all wondering, how did you do that? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I'm not the smartest person on earth, but it's the grace of God. So the unique actually is the way that the Dutch people spell unique, UNIEK. So I see God's unique grace, and it is, it's inevitable. And that's my stage name. That's my minister name.
Oh, amazing. That's lovely. I mean, it does talk about, the Bible does clearly say in Matthew 5:16, let your light shine so bright that others will see your good work.
Yes.
Your Father in heaven. And of course, you're true example of that, just really shining a light in your education, your academics, with your family, with your music, in life. And it's absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for being a guest on the show. And of course, before you go, it's my pleasure. And before you go, could you tell us, what have you got lined up that's coming up that people can look forward to? Are there any concerts, any other projects you're working on?
Yeah, definitely. I just rounded up my tour in the UK. It was UK, Scotland, London, and Birmingham. And so back here in Belgium, I do have a show May 5th on a Belgian scene. And then on May 6th, and of course, all this will be on my platform on Instagram, Facebook, and the other social media platforms. And then May 6th, I'm coming back to London, actually. I'm going to be one of the opening acts for the comedian Sheyi Law. I don't know if anybody, recognizes that name, but he's on tour. And so I'll be one of his lineup people. And I'm looking forward to that. So y'all want some tickets? Holla at your girl. I will get you tickets. And then by the grace of God, we're planning on another tour in Nigeria, because it's becoming like a high request over there, and I can't stay away for too long. So by the grace of God, in the month of July. And of course, we're working on the next song already. So you guys, we got you. Gonna get you dancing and grooving and vibing.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much. You are such a fun character. And I look forward to everything else you're going to be releasing and all the bits and pieces that you'll be doing on the music and ministry scene. So thank you so much for being a lovely guest today. And until the next time, this is it now to say goodbye.
Yes. Thank you, Reverend Maria Bond. God bless you so much. Love you. Mwah.
Thank you. Mwah. Wow, what a beautiful, beautiful day we've had. And of course, we've had a lovely guest who's told us so much. And she is a typical minister of God that is letting her light shine and allowing others to be able to walk within that enlightened path towards victory. Paul says, follow me as I follow Christ. So please do follow her. Go to her channels, go to everywhere that she's releasing music, and follow her and just be a supporter of what she's doing. Praise the Lord. Now, of course, this is me, Reverend Maria Bond, saying goodbye and God bless. Do not forget that tomorrow morning we have Sunrise that's going to be on in the morning. And so make sure that you tune in to LCBN TV, and of course available on all the YouTube and the usual YouTube and Facebook channel. And until then, and until next week, I have to say goodbye now. So goodbye and God bless you. Limitless is a motivational talk show where I interview celebrities to find out what is the secret to their success. So make sure you join me every Saturday at 10 a.m. on LCBN TV.